First Timothy 3. But before we go into the lesson, as always, we always ask you, do you have any questions before we into the lesson for tonight? Okay, First Timothy 3. Before we go in it, like we say, as always, we always have questions before we go into it. Again, we did thank God for especially advance Malcolm Wayne dropping all the way from Lancaster, Jamie and his friend all the way from Columbia. You know, especially in bad weather like this, we kind of blessing that y'all here. You know, just to be in this Bible study. But like we always say, Bible study is a service that we have asked questions, and we try to answer them if you have been. If you don't, we'll check it out and get back with you. But we're gonna open it up now for questions. Anybody have any question that you want to ask before we get started in the Bible study for tonight? Okay. Okay, Jim, I know you told me he had some questions that you want to ask. I said you have to do it in Bible study because in our Sunday service we don't do that in Sunday service. But Bible study, we does it.
Yeah, I got a couple things. I be out a lot. You know, I meet people, I talk to people and stuff like that. And just listening to people talk, you get a sense of understanding why they're not coming to church. And you try to back in the day you try to figure out why people want to come, now you see why they're not coming. I was just telling him coming up the road, I said, I hate to say this, it's church fault. Why the people in the world not coming? So when you start listening to them, and first thing they'll say, what the people in the church? Because this is where I'm trying to get an understanding too. I mean, I got to understand, but now we have to try to understand where they're coming from. First thing they say, well, why the people in the church? I mean, the people in the church, man, they ain't got nothing going on. I don't see nothing going on in them. And then you begin to think, because a couple of nights ago I was sitting at home watching this, little story thing talking about Jesus. And people is visual. They see things. And then I was sharing them with a guy, and then when I seen that, I said, that's the same thing Jesus did though. Because when he was walking the earth, he showed signs, wonders, and miracles. So people were visually seeing that, and they said, okay, I'm gonna follow him. I was just telling him about Peter. I said, when they was on the boat, I said it was easy for Peter to drop down everything he was doing after Jesus showed him. They went out in the water. He said, you cast your nets out there, and we'll show you what happened. So he seen a miracle happen. So the people in the world don't see miracles. They don't see nothing manifesting. Now they see it happen in the world. So I ain't talking to the people in the church. I'm gonna go talk to the people in the world. I see what's going on with them. And I was telling them, I said, what don't happen to the church? People don't hear about healing. It's cool, it's okay, we come in the midst of the church and we're talking. But I'm just sharing some things, what I'm talking about tonight, the things is what the people in the world talk to me about. So I can go back and talk to them about it. But I kind of know some things, but some things Bible study help us out. But then when you're talking to the people of the world, they don't hear about healing. Because soon they hear about healing, they're going to flock to the church. Well, I heard that person had stage 4 cancer, it was a rack of bones. But they no longer, because I seen what they look like, but they don't look like that no more. So then you begin to think, you say, well, it makes you question, you start hearing and say, well, I heard people preach, I heard them, but then not being judgmental at all. But I'm telling you from what the word sees, I heard them now. I see absolutely nothing going on in their life. Not being judgmental, but this is what the people in the world say. They say, well, I see nothing going on. I heard you talk about this God you talking about. I see nothing going on in your life. So why am I listening to you? What can you say to me? Because I see nothing manifesting in your life. If I come and hear you minister, and I say, okay, I came around for a couple of years, I heard the same message that was preached 5 years ago, and the God you say you serve, and the God that or do you believe that you have enough faith for things to be manifested in your life? But I see nothing but you preaching the same message, so why am I listening to you? So now you see where the word coming from. And I was like, man, and I was just telling myself, it's way deeper. So I said, okay, now I get though, we comfortable though, we are comfortable, we come in the church. But Jesus never even told us to do that. He said we need to be out there. I was reading in Luke, he said, I came for the sinners so they can get repentance. So, but then, you want to get deep into it, I was sharing with him. Another issue is, are people in the church really believing in God? Because the issue is...
Okay, we go, that's the second question, right?
Yeah, well, it kind of all ties in,
okay, so.
yeah, because what I was telling them, the whole church should be full. The church should be full, but what is the people in the church saying if they really believing in God? They say, I trust God, believing in God. Okay, you say you trust God, you believe in God every day, every Sunday, every Thursday. Every time the doors open, we should be walk at least 5 to 10 people with us because they seen something during the week that was so different that they said, man, I got to go see what's going on with them. I was telling him, I said, these people, are they really, the people in the church, are they really seeking the Holy Spirit? Because I said, it should be so powerful on us. We should be able to walk past somebody, not say nothing. They said, whoa, hold up, man. I feel something there. I need to be able to talk to you. What it is? What's going on with you? And now we got that door just got open to preach salvation to them. You see what I'm saying? So now the people in the world say, what is going on with the church? They ain't seeking the church. They're seeking the word. I was telling them, and I might be wrong, but I feel like accountability should be on us because we roll with God, and that's what God put us here. That's what Jesus did. You see what I'm saying? So what's the problem?
Okay, what's the problem, Bishop Biles? I answer to what's the problem. You're going to give me about it. What is the problem that you see? But I'm answering it too.
The problem that I see is a lot of time that the Bible says signs shall follow those that believe. And what happens is we slack in that area because we always talking about, if we see a sign, even the believers, if they see a sign, they'll flock out. But the sign's supposed to just be whatever God called us to do, it's supposed to take place. And we got to believe that to the fullness, but if we don't believe it to the fullness, it ain't gonna happen.
Okay. What you say about Brother Man?
The Bible talks about it. That's why I was looking forward.
We're gonna give everybody a chance.
Yeah, the Bible talks about it. I don't know if it was in Romans or Hebrews where it said gonna be a generation that's not even gonna believe. That's part of the prophecy what Jesus was telling.
Okay, now, if a generation they talk about, is this believer or unbeliever? He said there will be a generation.
For both. It's for both. For both.
Okay.
It's gonna be a generation where people just about themselves. It could be a generation where they're not even gonna believe the power of God. They believe man over God. It's in Romans or Hebrew. But see, that was foretold the signs of warning for the last days. The churches are packed or not packed. Well, the ones that are packed are the ones that's not really living what they preach. Because people got to understand, there's a godly kingdom and there's a worldly kingdom, a Satan kingdom. You can't be in between. It's either one of the two. People don't want to hear truth. You preached about it one Sunday. People don't want to hear the truth no more.
Okay. Then you want to say something?
I agree with what everybody's saying. I mean, we're not out here doing what we should be doing. We're not out here going to them, telling them, we got something to tell you, let's talk about it. So I agree with what everybody's saying.
Okay. Benjamin McElroy?
What already been said, and also, like for me, I come long distance, and most people not gonna come long distance
You're right.
in my neighborhood. they said the chicken was word of God. And a lot of them not. It's strictly gospel, just like they not able. We supposed to be set apart. We're not set apart, we can't do that. Yeah.
I oftentimes ask a question, I say it in here too. I see where you're coming from. A lot of people miss when I say this shit. If New Birth Church was to close down, will anybody around Great Falls miss us? If not, we're not affected. See, if a church closed down, we shouldn't be so affected that church. If we talk about closing down, people all say, no, not that church, because that church is very affected. You can go there and get healed. You can go there and get delivered. You can go there and get your need met. That is a church that knows how to operate in the kingdom of God. Just not happening. It's not happening. So we ain't talking about just this church. We talking about global. The works are not being done. So the world is standing on the outside looking in and seeing what is the church doing? Is this affected? You see what I'm saying? And but be honest with you, most of it's not. It's not. That's why you got people just drift from this church, that church. Cause when they know when they go to one church, you're gonna see the same thing in all the churches. Same thing. But we should be affected. Again, I asked that question some time back. I said, if our church were to close down, would anybody miss us if we close down? If not, we're not affected. Do you follow what we're saying? So the problem is with the church. Amen. Don't get me wrong. The world is looking for signs. The reason why Jesus didn't have to be on the radio, they didn't have to put him in the newspaper, he didn't have to go out and broadcast. The world got to him. To the people. You know what? This man is healing. This man is delivered. This man is what signs and wonders. The word got to the people what Jesus was doing. Well, if the church don't be affected, he said, greater work shall we do. If the church don't show that, I'm gonna be honest with you. To be honest with you, it's kind of like a guilt. That's pretty much what it like, almost like a guilt, that's all. And a lot of times, you know, preachers get frustrated. You know, we come in, you see the same thing, and people come in now, don't even expect nothing to happen.
That's the key right there.
Do you see what I'm saying? They don't even expect. Well, I know when I go, what they're going to do, they're going to sing some song, they're going to put their hands up, and then they're going to pray, and then they're going to preach a sermon there. We're going to take up the tithe and off, and we're going home.
That's what he said, coming up the road.
That's what you say?
He told me that.
That's absolutely right. You hit a rhythm. The old folks say you hit the nail on the head. You're absolutely right. People already look for that. I know exactly what we're going to do. We don't confuse the devil. We don't confuse it. So, people come in not expecting nothing to happen. And it shouldn't be.
But then what you talking now, you showing lack of faith.
That's exactly right.
Among the people in the church.
That's right.
So you show lack of faith, and then you start to fear. God didn't put us on the earth to fear.
I've had people right in the church, don't call them that, and come to me. I'm talking about at home, or some other people come to me, and they started asking me questions. I'm talking about in this church, and I said, I answer. But I'm starting thinking, you could be in Bible study. You're wasting my time. You know, begin, I believe, I don't care who it is, if you come by like a gentleman came by today, you might know Charles Simpson.
Yeah.
Come out here today. But you waste my time. We have a Bible study. You can be in the Bible study, but you won't come. But you run up on me and start asking me all these kind of questions. Like I said, I answer them, but that's a waste of my time because you can be in Bible study. Like I hear, what's the name say? Kenneth Hagin. He said, when I get through preaching, I pray for people when I'm starting to my car. Don't come running to me and tell me to pray for you because I already opened the door for prayer. So the church is definitely got lack. We're gonna have to step it up. We gotta step up. We have to, but you got to step in all. Y'all probably hear this year. I know all y'all hear this year. Bishop Bailey said this year, he said, the church got to do something different. Who heard him when he said that? He said, the church got to do something different. We just can't keep going through the same old, and think we're going to draw people. The church got to do something different. What we got to do? We got to get out there and manifest this year. Because to be honest with you, the greatest sign is on the outside. The sign ain't for the church.
No, that's why they have it.
Huh?
That's why they have it.
You're right. When you start talking about the gifts of the Spirit, most people want to see the gift of the Spirit operate in the church, but that ain't where it's supposed to operate at. We're supposed to walk by faith. The gift is supposed to be on the outside. Do everybody see that?
Amen.
And that's what's going on with the churches. They seeking everything but the church. They're looking for all the answer now except the church. It shouldn't even be. What's the next one?
That was kind of like summing of everything, but it was just like me and him just having some talks, and that was like a big thing for me. Like we talk about faith, so we talking about the church, not the word. So we talking about the church. We talk about faith. Are we really seeking God like we're supposed to allow that faith to be manifested? Because once it manifested, then you are free. Well, that's when God say, give you that peace, but you are free. Nothing on your mind, nothing bothers you, nothing bothers you down, nothing on your mind where you are free to God to operate you because your mind is focused 100% on Him. You see what I'm saying? You have let the Holy Spirit teach you. So what I was just trying to figure out with the church is a lack of faith going on where people can't focus enough to say they walk up on a person, they get a emergency phone call and say, I need to get over to the hospital because the doctor just said this person will die in the next hour. But they get there with stuff on their mind, and then they say, well, the person passed away, and we all do it. We question God and say, what happened? You see what I'm saying? So then you start looking now. All of me too. We start looking and say, what is wrong with our faith? Because if our faith is supposed to be at a higher level, which means that we should have made God see we do all things. So we do all things, people. That's another part of the signs and the wonders and the miracles. So what is our mind has been bogged down with, which means that we can say that when we get the truth. That means the mind being bogged down. That means the devil messing with you. It's a spirit hanging around you. And I told him coming down the road, I said one thing. I remember I was in the hospital. You came. You said Matthew 18:18, bound down. And I told him, I said, you know what? We should be so free because we got the right to bound down every single spirit that try to mess with us on this earth. And I said we should be so free. Honestly, we should have multitudes of people following us coming to the church. So now I begin to question. I say, what is wrong with the faith? Is people really having the faith, or whatever thing that's going on in their life? Why haven't they bound it down? If you bound it down on earth, God said, I'll bound it down in heaven. It's no longer going to be there no more. Now you get rid of that thing, and God's gonna stand strong with you. So now I just begin like, what is people really seeking the faith that they saying, or they just saying?
It's a lack of faith.
Well, I think they seek faith, they just seek faith in the world instead of God.
Right, that's
Because it comes to with God. One thing I asked God to give me was patience. I'm a very patient person. So when we ask for faith, if we don't, we say, God, I need this right here. If we don't see it happen right then and there, we lose faith in God. But when we go to the world, and the world can make it happen within the next hour, within the next day. We find the faith in the world, not knowing, now if you making the world your God, when the Bible says there should be no God for us. But then when you try to tell them that, they look at you all sideways, like, but then it's true, it's in the word, it's in the book.
These things that we hear every day, these things when you out talking to people, that's why we able to bring this Bible. These things that we hear, these things that people take, I ain't going to church. And you don't get mad at them there, but so why you ain't gonna go to church? Man, yeah, them people, they look like they suffering. They look like they hurting. So they say, I already seek over here, which is still is bad for them because at the end they're gonna go to hell. But the church is supposed to be an example for them not wanting to seek over there, they want to seek the church. So that's what he's saying. What is like what don't happen? What's going on here? What's going on with the faith? So it's like church people, like we really believe what we believe should be something way different. It's not happening though.
You're right. And again, it's all go back. Going back to the church. And like you say, those folks said, people look at sign. I can't think of a name, but he used to be with us. I may make it sometime back in Newburgh, maybe some years ago. The guy used to play the drum for us. Jerry was in the church. Matter of fact, so you to pray with.
Shirley Caesar.
No.
You beat the drum, Shirley Caesar.
Okay, church, and then another, you pray for another one too.
Yeah, what that fella name,
These was some, top notch. Church broke over 700.
Yeah, Dana Holmes.
Danny Home. So that church grew, it went from 50 to 75. He said people started flopping in. Said that church raising up the dead. Said folks were flopping in the church. It went from like 75 to 700. Called quiet. They seen something. It was a sign. We should be doing the same thing. You follow what I'm saying? Amen. If we can know all the word if you want to, you can have a whole lot of the word, but manifesting none of it. As far as the world concerned, they don't care. They don't care. They want to see what you got. They want to see you manifesting. It's more than this right here. We're gonna look at that. I'll pray God in just a few minutes. We can. They want to see. They want to see the church do what the Bible says it's supposed to do. That's what they're looking for. If you follow what I'm saying, and if they don't see it, be honest with you. That's why today. Let's face the fact, that's why we have a problem with getting the young people in. We got a big problem. But you got these people out there that got these false doctrine. They tell them this can happen. That can happen. This going on with your, this sin, all this kind of stuff. They feel, well, this is something I can relate to, even though it's false teaching. But they look, that give me hope. It's a difference. The people looking for hope. Amen. And it should move from out of these four walls. I can know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, but if they ain't helping nobody on the outside, they ain't doing nobody. He said, walk in the Spirit. If you live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Do you know what that's saying? Who know what that's saying? Paul said, if you live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Who know what that's saying?
You're doing one of them for other people, you're doing one for yourself.
You're absolutely right. See, when you live in the Spirit, that's just for yourself. I'm studying my Bible, I'm praying, I'm fasting. But when I walk in the Spirit, I'm out there winning people. I'm out there getting people delivered. That's walking in the Spirit. You got a lot of people that living in the Spirit, but they're not walking in the Spirit. One is just as bad as the other. You know what I'm saying? Okay, any more questions? Like I was telling Jim on the phone, he asked me some things. I said, no, raise them up in Bible study. Because on Sunday we can't do it behind the pulpit. I like doing this year. I think Brother May say something that would make me want to keep going on this route. He said some churches they lacked the way we was having conducting our Bible study, and they lacked it. See, people want to know. There are folks out there who really want to know. You'd be surprised how some folk got vying about problems, they ain't got no answers. You know what a lot of them do? If they don't really get into the church, they start turning to other souls. Like witchcraft, soothsaying, palm reading, all this kind of stuff. They looking for answers. To really narrow it on down, they done got to the place now. I've seen it, not around here, but y'all probably seen it too. If a person get missing, and they been missing for a while, they go out and get a psychic. Why they don't go get a preacher? They seek a psychic. That psychic come and say, well, this going on. Don't know that that information being transferred from the devil to them. We got information coming accurately from the Holy Spirit to us, but we don't, seeing some reason or another, we don't utilize it. They go out and get psychic. That psychic don't miss it too, and they don't. You know what that is? That's nothing but a temporary deceit. That's all it is. That psychic done made that what they study, they go. They get all the information feed from the devil. So to let the world tell, I'm telling you, these psychics, that's why people get on TV, they tell you, if you call me on the phone, I've seen on the phone where they'll call this man, I was looking for, I've been praying for a studio, and I called this psychic. She told me, I see in your future a studio. She don't know, the devil right there. When he was praying, the devil right there. So you got to understand where the prayer coming from. It didn't come from her. It didn't, even though the devil fed that to her, but it didn't come from her. The devil knows exactly what he prayed. You got to be very careful with God. Everything God got, the devil got a counterfeit.
That's right.
So the church going to really Get back out and do what you're supposed to do. Okay,
That's the
Bishop.
reason why Apostle Paul said he didn't only preach, but he did it with demonstration and power.
That's exactly right. You're right. The world looking for demonstration. Okay, just hold, cause I'm gonna get right back to it. I know a lot of preachers don't preach this year. When you look at the poor man lamp, now on his side, I was beat, I was being hit position that rich man, but what happened to him? But the poor man lamp, he laid out there by the trash can. He was eating stuff from out of the trash can. Not too far from that rich ruler. He wasn't too far from that rich man. That rich man seen it. But you know what happened? The problem was, Lazarus wasn't no example to that rich man. He didn't see. Even though he was saved now, don't get me wrong, Jesus used it as a parable. So he had to be a righteous and godly man. But when Lazarus looked out there and he said, what he got to offer me? He ain't got nothing to offer me. Why I need to go out there and talk to him for he ain't got nothing to offer me? Still, on the flip side of him, I wasn't being that poor man position than that rich man. But the point I was making, when that rich man looked at Lazarus, he figured, this man have that. The average church in America can't talk to Trump. Trump too. Can't talk. Well, nobody can talk to Trump. But they would not talk. Bill Gates would not talk to them because what they got to offer. Got nothing to offer. So the church going to step it up. Okay, for a minute.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead so you can get started.
No, go ahead on. We good.
But back to Jamie was talking about, say why, when Jesus walked the earth, he was drawing people to him. But like I say, God gave everybody a will, free will, choice.
Oh yeah.
Either you choose to or not, because there was also a lot of people that didn't even they said that he was a liar. And you can preach to somebody, you can tell them the truth, but if they don't want to listen from the get-go, they're not gonna follow you anyway. Regardless if you do got signs and wonders following you, because there's a lot of great men and women on earth, even right here in Newburgh, that demonstrated, the power and authority that they have, but just some people just not gonna do it. And one more thing, because I'm not gonna, this too long right here what I got. And another thing to point out what James was talking about, just like when Jesus ran up to that rich young ruler, he asked him, what did I do to inherit the kingdom of God? He told him, well, I do the 10. You know the story. He said, I did all the 10, I follow all of them. Then he told him, lay down your goods and give it away and come follow me. And I will give you more than what you have. What he did? He walked away because of the things of what he has now. That's the problem. People want to see. I go ahead. Y'all gotta turn to it. It's First Chronicles 11 and 22. I think Pastor Mark Hill Grove. Jones. Pastor Jones preached at it for your anniversary. And that's what most people want to see. They just want to see signs and wonders. And those really are spirit, because it's in 22 you say, for Jews require a sign and Greeks seek wisdom. That's what all people want to see. They want to see something they can feel, something they can touch. They don't want God themselves. They just want what God can offer without even them not having to put in the sacrifice for themselves. See, when you get saved, you also got to sacrifice something for yourself too. You got to pray, you got to study, you got to fast. If you're not doing none of that, who can you witness to?
Nobody.
Who can you witness to? If you got a mansion, but you got no authority, of course people gonna follow you because they want to know how you got rich. But if you poor, you kind of struggling because it's not your season yet, but you got the whole power of God, you healing people, you witnessing to people. Don't nobody want to follow you. Why? Because they say, well, he say he a Christian. Why he ain't got no mansion? What do you want? Do you want God, or do you want the riches that God gonna give you? Once you get saved, all this stuff already promised to you, but first you got to stay in his will. After you stay in his will, everything else that promised to you will come promised to you. But first you got to sacrifice yourself. You got to die to your flesh and give all yourself to God first.
Okay.
Well, I was telling him, I say, I know this other on the road. I say, everybody might not, they not gonna want God to receive God. But I say, it's for us still to plant the seed. That's what I was telling him. I say, but we have to do it. And I said, the issue is the church just ain't doing it. church ain't planting not one seed. They ain't planting no seeds. That's the problem. And I was when I tell you that, I asked him, I said, why you start hanging around me? I asked him to come to the road. We've been friends for how long? A long time.
21 now?
Yeah, about 6, 7 years. I said, why you start hanging around me? And he began to tell me why. He can tell you, go at the job, the older ones and the younger ones. You ask them why you hang around me though. Because sometimes I mind my business, but they'll come and ask me questions. Because like I told you, it was installed in me as a child. And because it was installed in me and I seek for it, I'm able to manifest and put it back into your life. Now you understand that what God gave me, I can give it to you. But when I'm a team leader, like a supervisor. What I do, I would plant seeds every time in the meeting. And I already make sure I reverence God. And when you plant that seed, you be like, man, they ain't even listen. And then a couple days later, somebody come and say something to you, man, you know, what I need to do? I was like, man, you know what, that seed was planted. It was planted. So it's for us still to plant seeds. Even though they did what they did to Jesus. And they can't deny what he did, but they seen it. You see what I'm saying? And the seeds were planted. Probably no doubt. They knew he was the son of God. Some of them just didn't want to reverence, but the seeds was planted. So it's our job still to plant. We've got to plant the seeds. You see what I'm saying? We have to, because if we get in our flesh and say, well, that person that ain't gonna listen, that person ain't gonna listen. We don't know that. But we still have to plant the seed, because that's what God got us to do. And then we can walk away from it. Because now it's in them for them to either gonna seek it or not. We did our job. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when me and him was talking, however, what you hang around me for? You know, but I know why though. You see what I'm saying? And now he ministering to people. Now people listen to him, you see what I'm saying? And now that don't start an effect. And other people say, well, you don't talk to them. And then when they get hold of it, then they go talk to other people. That's the whole thing that God put us here to do. You see what I'm saying? And then the benefits, well, I was telling him, the benefit for us is once you receive salvation, now you're part of the kingdom. You gonna reap, you supposed to, let me phrase that, you have the right to reap the benefits. And I was talking to him, and I was telling people about the worldly system. Because what we did, what happened to the people in the church, I see it all the time when we're talking to people, we have started relying on the worldly system instead of God's system. So we'll be bogged down with a job, and you'll complain about it, and you'll fuss about it, and you're mad about it, and you go to the job, you're mad and you complain all day, and your mind ain't even open to witness nobody because you was mad in the flesh about the job you on. So now that means you have content and you have to confine yourself to the worldly things, to the worldly system. Not saying you're not saved, but it's the worldly system that have a faith say, God, get me out of this situation so I can be a witness to the world. But the language don't go that way. Language just be, man, I gotta get up again, go do this again. Oh, I hate this again. And your mind not even on witness to nobody. Which means souls walk past us every day not getting a seed planted into them. You see what I'm saying? I don't know, not everybody else. I feel like God have a problem with me. Now I can't speak on everybody else, but I'm like, man, I really gotta get out here and get it done. I feel like that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? And now it's hard to sleep when you know you walk past 10 people and you ain't say that. Like, man, that ain't right. It could beat you. You see what I'm saying? It could beat you real hard because you was like, I did not plant that seed, and I would hate to hear that person didn't make it the next day. You know, one of our friends got cancer, caregiver, and I started reaching out to him. I don't know what his religion is. I don't know what he do, but I'm planting seeds in him. I said, you gotta pray to God. You gotta talk to God. This what you have to do. And I told him, I said, you're gonna get healed. God's gonna heal you. It's gonna happen. But now I can bet you though, he ain't saying nothing to me. He praying, and it's a seed in him where he said, God can heal me. Let me see what God really can do for me. You see what I'm saying? So that's our job. But we got to have, I would tell Hannah, I want that, me and you talk, and you said that most people, probably we ain't even operating out of 6%.
Yeah.
6%. I told, we should be operating out of 100%.
Now, what did you say about that?
Oh, he was just saying that people ain't even operating out of the percent that God, he said he was operating maybe about 12%, and you said, probably ain't even that one, it might be like 6%. Man, that's bad. That means that we lacking big time. Where is we really seeking to be at a low percentage? So that means like we ain't really seeking God like we're supposed to though. This is bothering me now. You know, I can't speak on everybody else, but it's just I'm going to try to lay down at night and stuff kind of stick to you. When you're setting up at night, it's like, man, I gotta get this thing right.
We need to. I'm gonna tell you, people not taking this serious. They're not taking it serious. But God forgive me to show me something. Trump is not an accident. He there for a purpose. I'm telling you that right now. He are there. I've been thinking about all this stuff going on. I'm thinking about it. A lot of time at night I kind of turn to it. I try not to get too involved up in this kind of stuff. But I started thinking. I say, he's not there by accident. He's not there. He's there for a divine purpose. These people don't want to believe in this shit. You got people now. I'm talking about what the government probably making $200,000 or $300,000. I was looking on the internet yesterday. Said they're out now trying to find some extra work. Extra work. You know what? The church just shook up too. They shook up. Me and Bishop Bob talking about it yesterday. It's not gonna get no better.
No,
It's not gonna get no better. I seen some. I don't know if anybody see it on the TV, but I looked at something yesterday, and my mind went way back. Cause my grandmother told me shit. In the days of Hoover, the President Hoover, they say they had soup line.
Right, it did.
Yeah.
I seen yesterday. Did you see that? Yesterday on the TV, they were showing. Did you see soup lines? People going in line to get soup. Did not accident. The church should be back cool, coming to look here. I know God gonna provide. It's my time, man. But you know what? I think you brought the marriage of faith in there. I don't care if Trump shut down everything. I'm not sanitary, so sanitary say one time. I don't care if don't nobody can come to the sanitary rock, or there gonna be some food at the sanitary rock.
That what he said?
I don't care. I don't care what Trump say. Don't get into it.
I'm gonna eat.
You can come to the camera house, there's gonna always be some food. If you got to wing it out there, there's gonna be some food. But the church now get shook up, just like the world is. They talking about it now. I mean, it's really getting bad. I don't know how we get into it, but it needs to be said. It's getting bad now. They talking about you couldn't have the little children lunch.
Yeah, they done did it.
Ain't they?
They done did it.
They already done it.
They cut the weed, they cut
it all the way
the
out, they
food
done cut it
stamps,
back.
everything.
Don't get nothing next month.
Nobody gets nothing.
See what I'm saying? But we got the answer. We have the answer. But if we take it, casually like ain't nothing going on, I promise you it's gonna get worse and worse. Read my lips. Listen, Trump is not there. Just be honest with you, what the stuff he putting down, if there been anybody else, they'd have been on the piece.
I told you about that too.
Huh?
3 Sundays ago.
Yeah, they'd have been on the piece. Anybody else, they would have already been on the piece. Trump do what he want to do. Again, God showed me something. You might not want to say it here, but I'm going to tell you what God showed me. Say, son, I got him there. Because I put him there. You know what it's going to do too? It's going to bring some saints down on the knees. You know what it's going to do? It's going to cause some saints to start looking up. You know what it's going to do? It's going to cause some saints to start picking this here.
Amen.
It's just a matter of time. We got the word. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm talking about New Birth. We got it. We got the word. Whether you unionize it, whether you do whatever, we got the word. I mean, we know what it takes to survive. We know. So again, some of you may be thinking, well, we don't need to get off on this here. The Bible, Jesus said that in his own Bible, said, teach them to observe all things. He didn't say the Bible.
All things.
He said, teach them to observe all things. Because if you're just looking at the Bible, I'm going to be honest with you, by yourself, some things will come up on you when you know it. So we need this young man. We need it. Church don't need to get upset. He said this in his word. He said, I never forsake the righteous. I ain't never forsake the righteous. He said, nor his seeds I. Doing what?
Begging no bread.
He said, they ain't going to beg for no bread. God gonna make a way. If he could bring water out of a rock, if God can bring water out of a rock, he can make wells in a desert. Like he did for Jacob, he made wells in the desert. What can he do? Trump ain't no problem for him.
That's right.
Trump ain't no problem. You know Trump the problem for? People that don't believe. They got some big problems. Amen. So this is not, we're not tilting the scale and say, you don't need to be teaching about it. I promise you this here. This is what's gonna happen too. Crime finna shoot up. I was looking at the date. Look before I came down here. Before I come down here. This man went into the church. I seen it. Went into the church.
Man prayed for it.
Right. The preacher prayed for me and turned around to him, I got to have your money. So give me your money, water, pocketbook, and keys.
And your phone.
In the phone. It's gonna get worse than that. But again, we have the answer right here. Everybody get what we're saying?
Amen.
So don't think we teaching something, so far out that, they don't, well, I want to hear about this is Bible. This is Bible. If something getting ready to affect your family, this is Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fool yourself, this is Bible. If it getting ready to affect your finance, it getting ready to affect your health, a lot of these wicked stuff like y'all just say, think about it when this Medicare stuff, if they cut that, I believe before it's all over, Trump won't do it.
Mhm.
You already done it.
He already done it.
Yeah, I got one, and I'm gonna let you go ahead on. That's why, I had a lot of people laugh and pick at me because I got a scripture that I like, because
If it's stripped, people shouldn't be letting.
and it says, before I die, do not have me so rich till I forget you and think that it's on my own will. And do not have me so poor till I have to steal and blaspheme your name. But give me my daily bread. Well, God offer you more than that, God offer more than that. Well, the government shutting down. So if so what else do you want? That's why you go back to the daily bread don't mean you barely living. Your daily bread means you got more than enough. Matter of fact, God give you enough where you can overflow into somebody else's life. And they can come into it and ask you, how is you doing? You see, that's what it means. Because you get too rich, then you feel like it's in your own power. You back down, because I know you done had a lot of people come to church. They were down, out. As soon as they got on their feet,
They left the church.
they left the church.
This Bible seen a lot of that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and when I first got saved, that scripture always that stuck with me, because, I love Ecclesiastes, but that's in Proverbs. And I love that scripture. God, before I die, do not have me so rich till I forget, you, and think that I had it in my own power. And do not have me so poor, to where I got to go steal and blaspheme your name. But give me my daily bread. What's the daily bread? That's the word. Every night before you go to sleep, you study. And solutions is in here.
Yeah.
And you got, like you say, you got to have faith and believe. But people got to understand, you're not accountable for everybody else. You give them the word, like Paul say, with him and Apollo, one plant, one water, and God multiply.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? If you try to plant, water, and multiply, you're just going to frustrate yourself. You see what I'm saying? But when you stand in front of God, God's going to ask you, and God's going to hold you accountable for what you've done. For what you've done. If you got a big ministry over there and nobody getting saved, ain't no power being moved, okay, what are you doing? Or what am I doing? You see, I can't talk about the world when myself ain't holding myself accountable. Because you got to study to show yourself approval unto God. So whatever you say, you also have to do that too. Because each person give a different level of faith. Just because your faith is stronger than the next man, you can't down that person. Their level of faith is not there.
You're absolutely right. But we gonna have to, like I said, the church going to step. I'm just gonna read something right quickly. It's not a lesson. I'm gonna flip back to our lesson. Would you believe that I'm gonna jump back? That's what I'm gonna tell you. But it's good. It's good. You need this shit. You need it. Amen. Look at 16th chapter of Mark. I'm just gonna read something that James was talking about. Then we'll go back to something that remains as we look at the scripture. The 16th chapter of the book of Mark. Everybody in? Mark 16, look at the 15th verse. And Jesus said unto them, go into all what?
The world.
He said go into all the churches. He said go into all the world. Go into all the world and do what?
Preach the gospel to every creature.
He said go into the world. So when you giving somebody a word, they're no different from preaching.
That's right.
You just sit there behind a podium. See, that's what they have. A lot of times people, if they don't have a talent where they can stand behind a podium, they don't want to go.
That's right.
They don't want to go. So he's telling them, he talking about to the believer. He said, go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That's a mandate. That's a mandate that God done gave us. We are responsible to give somebody the word. Won't it be sad on that day? I've oftentimes said, wouldn't it be sad on that day that a person come to you and God getting ready to give them eternal damnation, and they look at you and say, look here, I walk right past you every day. You never did say nothing about, I need to be saved.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I really believe that. That person will condemn you even though God won't. Why you didn't tell me that I need to get saved? You seen me on my way to heaven and you didn't say nothing to me about it. So he's telling us to go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Mhm.
Do everybody see that?
That's right.
And he that believe and baptized shall be saved. But he that believe not shall be damned. Go back to what you just said, brother man. We preach the gospel. If they don't believe it, it's off of us. You see? He said, he that believeth shall be saved. But and it goes on to say, but he that believeth not shall be what?
Damn.
That's on them.
But we have to do it.
We got to do it. You say, for you to do it. You done did your part.
Mhm.
Now it's up to them. See what I'm saying? So if you don't do your part, that person can hold that against you. Let's go on. In the 17th verse. And these signs shall follow them that what?
Believe.
These signs shall do what?
Follow them that believe.
Who is the believe?
We
are.
are born again.
We are the believer. These signs shall follow them that believe. And in my name they should do what?
Cast out devils.
Cast out devils. Demons. We should be casting them out. Cast them out. Lying spirit. All type of spirits should cast them out. And these signs shall follow them that believe. And in my name they shall cast out devils. And they shall speak with new tongues.
Mhm.
A lot of churches, they condemn tongues. They condemn, they say tongues have been done away with. That's not true. Tongue is well and alive today. This is a heavenly language.
Mhm.
Amen. This is a sign. I'm telling you what tongues is, and what a lot of people don't really understand. Tongues is a sign that I'm filled with the Holy Ghost.
Right.
Because you can't speak in tongues except you've been filled with the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
That's what tongues really is about. We can go on Paul. So Paul said, I'm thinking, 1 Corinthians 14:14. He said, I think, my God, I spoke in tongues more than you all.
That's what it says.
He said, I spoke in my natural tongue, with the natural, then I spoke in the spirit. And God, you Paul more than all. I tell people another thing too. A lot of times, even like myself, when I go before God, I'm not affected. Sometimes, you're trying to think what to pray. When you can pray about the saint, you can pray about your family, but then there's some things you need to pray about that you just don't even know.
That's right.
And there's something that you prayed about you shouldn't even be praying about, because God will take care of that.
Already.
But you prayed about it. So what happened to a lot of people, they pray the problem. That's what happened. But if you speak it, you talking in an unknown tongue, it's a direct heavenly language. God knows exactly what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I get a preacher say one time, made a lot of sense. He said, you take a mother with a little small children, said sometimes the children can't even want to talk. Said they go to the fridge and he said, blah, blah, blah. Said the mother knows exactly what he's talking about. Why? Because she know that child. The same thing, we got a heavenly language. God knows what to say, but he's the only one that knows.
That's right.
Nobody else don't know. That's why the devil tried his best to try to keep you thinking that tongues are not important. And people don't even pray in tongues no more. But he said we should speak what he say, we should, and in our name they should cast, and these signs should follow them that believe. In my name they should cast out devils. They should speak with new tongues. They should take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it should not hurt them. They should lay hands on the sick, and the sick shall recover. These are signs. Do everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, he said, and sometimes people get off on the deep end. This really wasn't a lesson that we're going to go. We thank God, for question. I love question. He said, I seen people do it though. He said, and they should take up certain. You got people out there. I'm talking about church and bring powder snake, especially up there in the mountain. But you're not gonna bring us snakes. That's the only place really in the Bible. See, you have to be line upon line and precept upon precept. That's just the only place in the Bible he's talking about. And he really giving an example. But I'm gonna show you another very important thing about this verse right here. They shall take a serpent. And what he goes on to say?
If they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them.
Start right there. If they do what?
Drink any deadly thing.
This is what he's talking about. Gosh, he said, son, this generation can't be about your pride. A lot of times when things happen, people think that, God got caught about the pride. You know what he's really talking about? All of this stuff, this chemical and all this kind of stuff. God already provided for it. God said, listen to him, it ain't going to hurt you if you believe. I think Bishop Biles was there when Pastor Price was saying this hymn. He said, Brother Morris at this pond fishing. I think this guy was supposed to be saved. He was at this pond fishing. And some kind of way, the conversation came up. He had a bunch of kayaks. And he would tell him, Brother Morris, that he was giving them kayaks stir rod. He said, but I don't give mine stir rod. The ones he said, I don't give them stir rod. But the ones he said, I shoot them up with stir rods. Then that's what he said. He said, Brother Morris, I can't look at him. Listen, the government doing the same thing. But look, you going to believe it or not.
That's right.
You know, the Bible tells us, if you drink in a daily thing, it won't hurt you. But you know how we're looking at it? You know, I don't know about that. Trust me, you don't believe, you get over to the wrong thing, you out of here. That's exactly what he's talking about. I looked at it and said, you know what? God covered every base. He said, if you drink any daily thing, like they, you know, I know all y'all see they be shooting these smokes, you know, playing be shooting this, but they ain't done no part in the air. The Indian been seen it. The Indian talked about this years ago. The Indian said, why did the governor poison the air in our water? The Indian been know it. We, for some reason or another, seem like America can't catch on to it. But when you see them planes up there shooting that smoke, they ain't doing nothing but poison the air. That's why a lot of people get caught up with cancers, heart problems, and all that kind of stuff. You follow what I'm saying? Now we just gonna read the scripture when he said if they drink any deadly thing, it should not hurt them. You know, and I'm getting ready to close it out. When Paul, I think, was on his way to Rome, I believe, and he reached hang down there in the fire. And what happened?
A snake bit him.
A vicious snake linked onto his hand. They were looking for Paul to die. Paul might have in mind what Jesus was talking about. The Bible says to shake that snake right over into the fire.
That's right.
They were looking for him to die. Paul looked at it this way. God got on a mission, and this snake can't stop it.
There you go.
This snake can't stop it for God. God got me on a mission to go to Rome, and this snake can't stop it. They started around there looking for him. Matter of fact, they started talking. So you know what? He done did something. Paraphrasing now, just because the ocean didn't take a lot of paraphrasing, this snake did. But the Bible says he just snuck down. It was a vicious snake. You start talking about snake maybe like a copperhead or rattlesnake, you know, something very vicious. Paul didn't get upset, just shook that snake over to the fire and kept doing right over there. They started around and said, well, they were looking for him to die. Then they started talking about, well, maybe he's a God.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Do everybody see them?
Yes,
So
sir.
this, you need to lynch onto this right here. He said if they drink any deadly thing, it should not hurt them. They should lay hands on the sick. And what he say?
He shall recover.
And the sick shall recover. Do everybody see that? I try to live by this right here. That 16 verse. Because I know stuff that they put out there now is doing them just taking, messing people health up, life and everything else. So again, Christ seen these days coming. He scoped down to the time before he even got to him. He seen these days coming, and he made a way for it to escape. Up under the new covenant, there was a way to escape. Do everybody see that? Let me read one more. I'm going to read what I want to start off in the night. And then I can't get into it because we went around an hour. 2 Timothy 2. Everybody have it? 2 Timothy 2. Second Timothy, second chapter. Let's start at the 14th verse. These things put them in remembrance. Charge them before the Lord.
2 Timothy 3.
It was 1 Timothy 3.
2 Timothy, the
3.
second chapter, in the
The third chapter. 3rd and 14.
2 Timothy, the second chapter, in the 14th verse. And now I know I'm right. I got to get my
No, but
you
you
Is
said
it right?
At
No,
first you said
third
1
chapter.
Timothy,
No,
third
no,
chapter.
I said the third.
3 and 14.
No, my bad. The second chapter, 2 Timothy, the second chapter, let's start at the 13th verse, and then I'm just going to read down to 15. I'll be through. I'll get into it next week. He said, if we believe not,
That's the third chapter.
No, he changed it.
Oh, you done changed it again?
Yeah.
it's the second chapter, Second Timothy.
Second chapter.
Second Timothy,
Start
second
with 13
chapter,
verse.
13 verse. You in the wrong chapter. It's the
Okay.
second,
Second Timothy.
Second Timothy, what you in the first? Yeah, you in the first.
I done got confused. Say, not you.
Second Timothy, second chapter, in the 13th verse.
That,
He said, if we believe not, yet he will do what?
Abide in faith.
What he say?
Abide in faith, and he cannot deny himself.
If we believe not, do you know what that's saying?
mm,
What is it saying? If we believe not, yet he abide faithful, he cannot deny himself.
Yet if we don't believe, he ain't gonna deny himself.
If we don't believe.
If I don't believe it, that ain't gonna make him deny himself.
That's right.
12th verse bring it out.
Okay.
Say, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Okay.
So, but even if we believe him not, yet he abideth faithful. That means he's still gonna keep his word, if we believe him or not.
That's right. This is exactly right.
Because he can't deny himself.
You're right. The 14th verse, we get further into it next week. The 14th verse. Or these things put them in remembrance. Charge them before the Lord that they strive not about words to know a prophet, but to subvert of the hearing. Now, what did that say? One verse in there really stick out. He say, of these things put them in remembrance and charge them before the Lord that they strive not about words. What just that part, what does it say? What the word strive even mean?
Go out.
Huh?
Like Aaron Brown said, go out.
Okay. The Greek word strive mean all. That's what it means. It means all. If you got another translation?
I got it right here.
Okay. It means all. That's what it means. And this way it's saying, charge them that charge those things and put them in remembrance. Charge them before the Lord that they argue not about the word. What did Joe say?
In the 14th.
Uh-huh.
Remember others about these things that I'm telling you. Warn them before God to stop their useless bickering over words. After all, splitting hairs does no good. It only ruins those forced to listen to their meritless argument.
So it's telling us, don't be arguing, about things that really ain't gonna benefit nobody. That's
Right.
what he's saying. He said, well, these things put them in remembrance, charge them before the Lord that they strive to argue not about the word to no prosper, but to the perverting of the hearing. If it's not gonna benefit somebody, to be honest with you, when you argue with somebody, what I find out, when you argue with somebody, you ain't gonna win.
Never have.
You're not gonna win when you argue. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna waste a whole lot of time, and when they leave, they're gonna still be thinking the same way. So Paul is warning us, don't be wasting your time arguing with people. Some people, they're just arguing on. It ain't benefiting nobody. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Only let's drop on down to the next. This is gonna be the last one. He said, do what?
Study to show thy approval unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
You know what that's saying? Who know what that's saying? What it say, brother?
You're going to have to study to show yourself approval to God, because you're going to be handled for what you know and what you study. And the power and authority that God give you is going to depend on how much you believe in your faith in Him or yourself. And you got to rightly divide the word, because you can't divide the word if you ain't studying.
That's exactly right. I was going to show you what's on your time, to show you how you're wasting your time. The Bible, He told us to study show out some proofs that are written not need by shame rightly divide the word of truth. When people come there, we should know what the word is saying, not giving a person their opinion.
Right.
You know, that would happen to a lot of people. They give you their opinion, but it don't line up. This is what I've learned about the Bible, and then when we get into it, the Bible is like a code. Who know what a code is? Everybody can't break a code.
Nope.
You got to know what a code is to break it. When I was in college, I used to ask more than me. We used to ask preachers that had big, large churches certain things, and they couldn't even answer. They had large churches, big companies, they couldn't even answer. It dawned on me way back then. You know what? The Bible is just not an ordinary book. You can't study the Bible like you do a novel book, like you do a history book. You can't study like that. The Bible is a code, and the only one can crack it is the Holy Ghost.
There you go.
That's true.
That's true.
And can't nobody, I don't care who you is, if you ain't got the Holy Ghost, you'll never understand this here.
That's right.
You can't understand. The Holy Ghost will crack it. Again, we're going to show you scripture. The Holy Ghost is the only one that can crack the code to the Bible. That's why when people get out there be arguing with sinners, they talk about something they done heard or they done been preaching, they got it all twisted up, and you got believers out there wasting their time arguing out there with them.
Right.
They'll never understand it. Amen. And that's why they tell you, say, you study. You study to show yourself approved. Not unto men, but to who?
God.
Don't try to prove point with men because you can't prove no point to me. Especially they ain't saved. You study to show yourself approved unto God. He said, because a workman that need not be ashamed. Somebody out there, you got some sinners out there that call more stricter than people in the church.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Matter of fact, you got some preachers on the church. You got some people out there have never hardly been to the church, can preach better than some preachers.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why you have to have that word in us so that we won't be put to a shame.
But you know what? They only repeat what they done hear.
Yeah.
They not repeat what the revelation gave. They only repeat what they done hear.
Right.
So this is what he tell us. We're gonna pick it back up next. We said, workmen that need not to be ashamed. He said, but rightly divide the word of truth. So you got so many people can't divide the word. They can't rightly divide it, so they get
Right.
people messed up.
Mhm.
They started saying something that they think or something they feel.
Man.
We're going to close out right there because after 8 they got to go to school tomorrow. We'll shut it down right here, but we'll pick it back up next week. Do anybody have any questions that what we just covered?
I got something to share with Jamie, friend, what's going on. The next time that y'all run into somebody, this has helped me out a lot. Because a lot of people don't go into Revelation. But you go into Revelation chapter 22, and yeah, Revelation 22. And just verse 11. Tell them either you can be right or you're not. And it says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. So the only thing to let you know, regardless if you argue with somebody, when Jesus come back, whatever state you in, you know, that's what the state he's going to catch you in. So just make sure, even when people come to you the wrong way, just make sure that you grounded in the rule.
Yeah.
You see what you can. Because if you start worrying about everybody else, then that'll kind of get you out of your comfort zone. You see what I'm saying? Because it says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. So to let you know, when Jesus come back, don't nobody know. Even Jesus said he don't even know. Just make sure that you're right. Make sure you're right.
That's right. You can't change. When Christ burst through each sky, you can't change. This is what I always say about the Bible. Closing out. There are 3 sides to this Bible. There's your side, my side, and the right side.
There you go.
3 sides. You got a side, I got a side. Then the right side. Amen?
Amen.
Let us stand.